Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I just thought we'll have a brief overview of the performance of iOS 13 Beta 2 on the iPhone 6s Plus, the 7 and the 8. Now for those of you who do not know, you can download iOS 13 and iPadOS as public betas as of now. So I have put up a video regarding that. And in the video, if you follow it, you will be guided to the download page for the developer beta, but remember, developer beta 2 is absolutely the same as the public beta. So that's regarding betas, and again, I still highly do recommend that you do not use betas on your primary device. But for those of you who want to use iOS 13 and iPadOS, I highly recommend you do it on secondary device, or if you're comfortable managing or being part of the bug situation, then yeah, most happy to go ahead and use the betas of all the softwares. So let's begin with the iPhone 6s Plus, the oldest iPhone to support iOS 13. Now, just to confirm, all of them are running beta 2. So let's enter general, about, that's the build number, it ends with M. Beta 1 was ending with T. So this is beta 2. So overall, generally, I haven't had any app crashes. I can't talk about gaming because I don't game a lot, so I do not know if you have any issues on the gaming side. But in terms of applications, day-to-day applications, no issues. None of them are crashing, no compatibility issues. All of them are working really well. Now, one thing I did notice that this 3D touch interface is still working as haptic touch. So the official 3D touch interface isn't back yet, and this is really not a great experience because it's really slow. I really hope Apple is able to get that 3D touch interface back, because I mean, all these three devices do actually have a 3D touch layer in the device. So I frankly think that Apple should use the hardware that's already there in it. Haptic touch makes complete sense for the 10R, but I do not think they should generalize it throughout the entire lineup. Obviously, now in Beta 1, I had issues with getting this platter to work. Bluetooth and Wi-Fi are working nice and responsive right now. There's also a kind of a delay. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but there is a delay while scrolling through applications. Um, uh, it's slight, little bit of frame drops, but that's one thing which is still not rectified on beta 2. Otherwise, overall, I haven't had any boot loops or random crashes, or the phone isn't heating up or anything like that. Everything's working nice and decent for the 6s Plus. Now looking at Geekbench scores, for those who are interested, that's beta 1 on 2nd June, and 25th June is beta 2. So there is an increase in single core and multi-core. So that's it. Overall, 6s Plus is pretty decent and no major issues with iOS 13 on this guy. Whoops, there it goes. Okay, let's move on to the iPhone 8. Now, this guy is the most powerful out of the bunch, Apple A11. So this guy is really nice and responsive. No issues at all. Let me just confirm the beta again. Again, beta 2. So this is really nice and responsive. Haptic touch is working nice and smoothly. I've absolutely had no issues with this. Now again, I have been using the 7 as my daily driver. I've been using the 8 and the 6s Plus off and on. So I pretty much know what's happening, but I really know a lot for the 7. But overall, again, I'm not going to talk about battery life on the 6s Plus and the 8 because I haven't been using them as daily drivers. And again, I don't trust battery life right now because it's a beta. So you can't quite say. Just be cautious in terms of battery life. But overall, no issues on the 8. I've not had any issues with app compatibility or anything. No random reboots, no overheating. Everything's working smoothly. In terms of scores, again, these here it is. This are your scores. So compared to the regular 8 on 12.3.1 and multi-core as well, there is an increase. So again, iPhone 8 working really nice and smoothly. Now, those of you who are thinking, where's the iPhone 10, where I decided not to update the iPhone 10 to iOS 13 because I would like to keep the jailbreak on it. And since the iPhone 8 and the 10 both share the Apple A11 chip, so the performance is literally the same. So there's no point losing the jailbreak just to get iOS 13 when it's already here on the iPhone 8. So that is the iPhone 8, and finally we'll come to the iPhone 7, which has been my daily driver. So the iPhone 7 personally feels much more smoother than the iPhone 6s Plus. That lag while scrolling between apps is still present. However, it isn't as noticeable as the 6s Plus. Things open nice and smooth. The widgets all are ready and displayed. Um, Again, 3D Touch hasn't returned on the iPhone 7. Now on Beta 1, I did have an issue wherein in notes with dark mode on, you would have problems with viewing any of the notes since they would completely be blank, but that's rectified in Beta 2. I also had an issue with Bluetooth, but right now that's also working really well. All the platters are opening nice and smoothly. In terms of battery life on this guy, which is about 2.5 hours. So on a few days, if I use it a lot, you get above 2 hours or so, sometimes about three. But if you get into low power mode, I can stretch it about 3 to 3.5 hours. But again, it's completely dependent upon your usage. So that's with battery life. Overall, looking at the iPhone 6s Plus, the 7 and the 10, I'm sorry, the 7 and the 8, I haven't had any issues with any drastic issues. But so overall, frankly, all three of them are doing really nicely, doing pretty well, and I can't wait for the upcoming betas. So again, if you guys have not updated your iOS 13 beta 2 and iPadOS, if you guys are interested in getting the betas right now through the public beta system, you can look at the video which I will link in the description, and you can get your betas from there. So that's it, guys. This is just a really quick brief overview and run through of iOS 13 on all of these devices, and overall it's performing pretty decent, no major issues, but just remember it's a beta and you will have to deal with slight bugs here and there. So that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video. Do like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one with the iPadOS review.